What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are doing another tier list lads. We're doing a tier list of power forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So the power forward position sucks. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. The power forward position absolutely sucks. Well, sorry, no. Recent power forward sucked. It was a good position. And as time has gone on, we just haven't gotten too many. There's no real depth at the power forward position. That's really the best way to say it. Like, there are a couple of really good cards. There's no depth. Like, everyone runs one of the same 4 power forwards in my team. So, anyway. Now, let's get onto it. So, I'm going to mix around a little bit. Actually, you know what? Power forward position is not that bad. It's just there is a big gap between, like, there's like the elite power forwards, and then there's the awful power forwards, and there's no real, like, nothing really in between. So first up, Derrick Jones Jr. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Derrick Jones Jr. is very good, but there is a but. I think Derrick Jones Jr. might in fact be a D tier, if not C tier player. I think maybe you could argue that he's a C tier player. Is he good? No. He's not, but he's not awful. And that's kind of the thing. Like, a lot of guys are awful in these tiers. Amari. Amari's bad. Like, a lot of people are kind of high on Amari. And I don't get it. Like, just with Amari, I don't get it. Like, there's a lot of players that I understand being high on, where it's like, okay, maybe these guys are good on offense, they're good on defense, but like, Amari's good at dunking in a game where the dunk stat doesn't matter that much if you can't get into a position to dunk. And Amari can't get into positions to dunk. And that's what people don't, like, for me anyway, people don't realize, where it's like, Amari, like, a lot of players will have 99 dunk, but if you don't have the ability to get in a position to abuse that 99 dunk, then there's no point having a 99 dunk. And also, a lot of the time you get, the higher your dunk rating is, the worse dunk animations you get. So, it all just depends. But Amari is bad. AKS. AK is still, to this day, one of the most used cards in my team. He is, I'm going to say, I don't even know if he's underrated, because, like, a lot of people just, I don't see, like, people are still use AK. Like, there's a lot of really good players that use him. But it's like, a lot of people have just kind of replaced their AK with Giannis. I think that's a little bit premature. I get it. A lot of people do perform better with Giannis. But there's a lot of people that are going to perform better with AK. But he's S, no-brainer. B tier for Jameson. I mean, when Jameson came out, he was kind of like this jack-of-all-trades player. He could kind of do a little bit of everything. It wasn't like he was spectacular at anything, but he could do a little bit of everything, and just having that meant that he was a good card in my team. However, now jack-of-all-trades cards, including jack-of-all-trades cards that are like rubies, like Sadiq Bey, are just better in every single stat than Antoine Jameson. So, he's pretty bad. Like, there's no reason to ever use Jameson because of his price, but like, this position's weak, so he's gonna go B. Like, I think A and S, like, I think we're going to see good players in A and S, and I don't think we see a good player in B tier. I really don't. I guess Jameson unusably bad? No. Are there cards, multiple cards for, like, 3k MT that are better than Antoine Jameson? Yes. And is he one of the worst value players in the game? I think that might be kind of gassing it, because there are some really bad value players, but he's not a very good diamond. He's really not a very good diamond. And we got 80. 80's good. Don't worry. Like, don't get me wrong. 80's good. 80 is not S tier. His defense is okay. He's better on current than he is on next, because he's got a really low steal rating. He can't rebound at all. Like, he can't get rebound chaser. His rebounding stats are low. Again, I used him a little bit when he came out. I didn't like him, but he was good. Just because I don't like a card does not mean that they're good. Like, if you were to ask me who was better, him or Josh Smith, I always preferred Josh Smith. I know there were people that were on the AD hype train. Like, that was like an actual debate. It all depended on what you needed from your players. I preferred AD at power forward, Josh Smith at center, which is a bit weird because you'd be thinking, oh, the taller player, you normally prefer him at center, but I just couldn't use AD at center at all. Blake. I think Blake's B. Like, Blake is in that tier with these guys. Blake's okay. Offensively, he can still kind of hold his own. He was decent when he came out. Like, he was part of that locker code, that free locker code, and I know some people that chose Blake and they were happy with choosing Blake. He dunks on people. He rolls well. His jumper is nice. He's also got bronze quick for his step, so he can kind of get away with that. But in general, Blake Griffin is... He's not the greatest card. He's not going to play defense. I think he's better than that Cat card that came out. I think he is better than that Karl Anthony Towns, but... Again, there's no reason in December. Like, I'm not sure. Did he come out in September? Like, Blake either came out... I think Blake did come out in September. I think he came out like the last week of September. Like, so... It's like... We're getting close to... Like, we're in early December, but like... We're not that early December. We're a week into the month. Like, it's the 7th of December, technically, because it's past midnight for me. Bob Pettit. I'm going to put Pettit in B tier. Like, Pettit... I love Pettit. I'm just going to put it out there. I love Bob Pettit. But it's like, is Pettit as good as AD? No. I love that Pettit card so much. He's one of those cards that I just never missed with the guy. And like, I used them. I used them for a lot of the road to Peyton. But like, once I got Kevin Garnett, like, did outshine him. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, Kevin Garnett was so much better than him. And so was George Mikan. And like, I prefer Wang Zhizhi to Pettit. And I know Pettit's got that 49 lateral, so like, you can't press or anything with him, but he still doesn't miss. I'm still way higher in this card than most people. Like, he might get pushed up to really low A. But for now, he's the only player that I would consider good in B tier. Bojan Bogdanovic getting to E tier. He sucks, man. He actually sucks. If you guys don't know about Bojan was like... He was decent when he came out. He was a decent shooting player with clamps that could play at the 3/4. So he was actually a decent wing. However, he came out, I'm pretty sure, in the very first batch of primetime cards. So, not like, not expected to be good. Like, I think, did he come out, what was it, like the 11th, 12th of September he came out? The game came out on the 10th, did it? I think the game came out on the 10th. He already came out like the 13th, 14th. And we got Bosh. We're gonna B tier again for Bosh. A lot of these guys are similar tier. They really are. Like, Bosh is alright. Like, there are people that had a lot of success with Bosh when he first came out. For me, he played very like Serge Ibaka. And like, I do like Serge. Don't get me wrong, I like Serge, but like, who the hell is using Serge in December? I say that, and people still are. I think the first day of the of clutch time, I played a lot of Serge Ibaka's. And I miss using Serge. Chris Webber, A. Definitely one of the better power forwards in the game still. He can play center. He's alright. It's just there's no reason to use him. Like, he's a 6'9" center who's he's got like hot rebound chaser. His post game is better than AD's. His rebounding's better. His defense better. His shooting's as good. So like, Webber was the man. He was that dude when he first came out. But I'm pretty confident that I had I'm pretty confident that I had Webber in S last time, but no, Webber's A right now. Clark Kellogg, worthless, man. He sucked. Danny Manning, D. He sucked. You know what? Screw it. Saric going D. He absolutely sucked. Aaron Gordon. Now, I'm torn. Like, Aaron Gordon is the best player on this list right now. Like, his stats are brilliant. His badges are brilliant. His release is meh. It's not even that bad. Like, I'm looking at stuff with Aaron Gordon being like, look, he's not bad. He's not really bad in any way. There's nothing he does on the floor that's bad. He does a lot of things really, really well on the floor. It's just he's expensive for what he is, and he's not AK. Rodman, B. I'm moving Amari and Jameson down. Like Blake is better than Amari. But Rodman, the problem with Rodman is just that release is slow. It's not like you can't green with him. It's just getting a... The most important thing with shooting is the ability to get the shot off. And Rodman struggles getting a shot off. Like, that release is so slow. But I will say, Rodman is a... he is pretty green. Because he has all those shooting badges. Like, when he came out, a lot of people were calling him the best center in the game. I was never going to go that far. I always preferred Josh Smith to Rodman, but I still don't think that Rodman was a bad player. I still don't think he's a bad player. Like, you can get away with using Rodman at the minute. Kemp, A. Kemp is points, is a really good point center. Kemp is like, imagine if... Kemp is basically George Mikan without a couple of shooting badges. And then the difference really, the main difference between Kemp and Mikan is that Kemp has a really not great release, and Mikan is one of the easiest releases in the game. But stats-wise and like in terms of movement-wise, as far as point guards go, Kemp does the same thing. It's just Mikan's better and cheaper, so there's no reason to ever use Kemp. Because if you guys look at the stats, like Kemp and Mikan are eerily similar. Like they came out 1 week after each other, and like they are incredibly similar cards. So yeah. Then we have got Larry Bird. I'm honestly putting Larry in C tier. Larry shoots the ball really well. He's slow as heck, but he's C tier. Dirk. I guess you're better than Clark Kellogg. Batum. He's the best. Batum's slightly better than Aaron Gordon. I think Batum's going to keep S tier. He may not. He may not hold on to S tier, but Batum is in that conversation anyway. I have to wait till we see the rest of these cards. But for now, Batum is the second best player on the list, and he's going to S tier. Rocco. Oh, Rocco. Get low, eh? I'm being dead serious. If you ask me who would I rather use, Robert Covington or Anthony Davis, I'm choosing Robert Covington. You guys might call me crazy. I'm taking Robert Covington. Am I that high on Rocco? Like, in comparison to Batum, I think Batum's so much better than Rocco. But Rocco's going A. Like, he's one of my favorite players in A to use. Cliff Robinson, S. If you can get used to his release, his actual, like, just overall game is ridiculously good. I'm telling you, his overall game is incredible. The only problem with him is the release is bad. Like, really bad. Actually, you know what? I don't mind Session 3. It looks bad. It's a lot better on next gen than it is on current gen. I'll say that much, because again, I was on stream and I was shooting around a little bit with Vic Krejci, just to show you guys what Session 3 looked like. And it was fine. It was absolutely fine with Vic Krejci. So, yeah, I'm going to put him in S tier for now. John Collins, A. John Collins is most definitely A tier. He's not S. He's like better shooting, worse ball handling Kemp. And slightly slower Kemp. Like, there are a lot of really good things about John Collins. Like, he's in my team. Like, I use John Collins in my... Like, if I'm playing Unlimited, I'm using John Collins. He's my backup power forward. Like, again, if I do get Michael Red, he'll be out of the team, but... And Isaac will play there. But he's not bad. He's not bad at all. Like, he's... Like, A tier for him is he's one of the most obvious inclusions in A tier. Defensive stats are bad, but his badges make up for it. Kobe base. He's... Like, I've always said that about John Collins. His release just makes him really good. His player build feels a lot bigger than 6'9". Calvin Watt's A tier as well. I'm gonna have to start moving some players. I can't move any of these players down from A tier though. I can't. No, like, unless I want to move every single player down a tier. Which I might do if we've got too many in this quote-unquote A tier. I might start moving people down and call S, A, and B the usable tiers. But Calvin Nat is basically, he is a Miles Bridges clone,
As in, release and animations are literally just a clone of Miles Bridges. Except he's got like a 79 3 ball, which is okay. Badges wise, doesn't get like the defensive badges of, say, defense stats are brilliant. Defensive badges aren't really it. He's only 6'6", can only really play small forward, but he is. Calvin, that's A tier. Dolph S. One of the most no-brainer inclusions in S tier right now is Dolph Schayes. Dolph can shoot. Dolph can handle. Dolph is an elite defender. He's just incredible. Dolph is basically, for me anyway, Dolph feels like a slightly better at power forward George Mikan. If you're asking me who I would take between Mikan and Dolph, I think they're similar players. I would obviously take Dolph as a power forward. I would take Mikan as at center. If you're asking me who I prefer, because a lot of people ask this, like, oh, Dolph or Mikan, and all depends on position. Dolph is S. Paul Milsap. I'm going to have to move some guys in tiers. I'm going to move every one of these guys down a tier. I'm going to move Jameson down 1, Lauri down 1. Danny Manning go down a tier. And then, because I'm like, I can't justify just putting every single player that's usable in A tier. So let's move down. Kemp. Yeah, I'll move down Kemp. Danielle Marshall is D. He is genuinely a shooter. That's all he is. As far as Sapphire power forwards go, I mean, there was a stage where I was pretty confident he was the best Sapphire power forward in the game, and then Isaac came out. Dre. Why was I putting Draymond in B tier? This is natural instinct. Dre's C. Dre's in that tier with, like, you know, you go up. Robin, you go up. And same, you go up as well. You go up, Pettit. Pettit, you're getting B tier. This Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's got Giannis's animations, so that puts him in C tier. He's ass, though. I have the card. He is sitting in my collection right now because I pulled him in a free pack and just have not sold him yet. Be just out of sheer laziness. But Giannis is terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Jabari Parker plays offense, no defense. Get in, wait. Jameson's staying C tier. I don't know why did I move Jameson down. Yeah, Jabari's D. Plays no defense. Rick Barry, C. He's not good. I played against a dude who was balling with Rick Barry, though. He literally played in the post and was like jab stepping, using triple threat juke. All these nuts fakes on me with Rick Barry, which was one of just the craziest things I've ever had to play against. Like, some people that play like that way unorthodox with a player and they can make it work, then I'm always just like, you know what, I'm always like, you know what, you do you, like. But if the card's not gonna be great for a lot of people, like, I think a lot of people are going to really struggle with Rick Barry, although some people are gonna be great with him. Timmy D. Now this is a tough one. Batum's coming down. Tim Duncan, because Tim Duncan plays lanes, man. He plays lanes. He can kind of shoot. Like, there are people that are there are good players that are really good with Duncan. Oh no, lads. I don't know. Maybe he goes up. He's A for now. Jay Crowder. High C. He's high C. Do I move Rocco down? I think I move Rocco down as the best in B. Just to even out the tiers a little bit more. Mashburn. A or B? High, like low A maybe? Like, a lot of these guys are similar. They really are, except for Duncan and Batum, who are quite a bit better in my opinion. Then we got Worthy. I think in today's game, Worthy's D. Like, I was a fan of Worthy when he first came out, but like, he came out a long time ago. He was God in the limited week, though. Do you guys remember the limited week where you had to use under 75 rated 3-point shooters? Man, everyone was like playing zones and like leaving me wide open. I was just so chicken worthy because I used them so much at the start of the year. Like, because of how much I used him, I was just so good at shooting with him early. So yeah, we've got you've got Worthy in here, down quite low in E tier. MPJ E tier. I mean, is Clark Kellogg going to be in a tier of his own as the worst? I mean, there are some pretty bad players, but I think Clark Kellogg might actually be in a tier of his own. A lot of day one cards are coming up, like you getting to D tier as well. Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal's post game was actually good. Like during the era of insides, like before people learned the 2-man game, the like guard to guard screens. Like at the very start of the game, the inside big was like a thing. And he was like one of the better insides in the game. Because you could like absolutely abuse. If someone was running like Chris Boucher or Siakam at center, you could just abuse them with Jermaine O'Neal. Isaac, A. No brainer, A tier. Obviously, I'm not going to gas it and put him in S tier. But I mean, he is the most relevant. He is the most relevant to these players. Like there is no player who's currently used more in this entire game than maybe the Big Wang is used more. But no, Ja's probably the most used player in the game right now. But like Isaac is up there. Isaac is up there in the top 3 most used players, I'd say, in the game. I'd say Ja, Big Wang, Isaac, Clay. And Kevin Garnett are probably the most used players in all of my team. Jeff Green. Okay. I forgot to put Kevin Garnett on this list. Wow. So we know what to do, lads. We know what to do. We know the story. Like we know what happens, lads. If Kevin Garnett, we always forget players. Kevin Garnett is S tier. I'm just putting it out there right now. Like Kevin Garnett is S tier. I really like Kevin Garnett. Like the more I use him, the more I like him on the defensive end. Not a fan of him on the offensive end, but the more I use him, the more I like him on defense, and I do feel like he is that bit better than Tim Duncan. But for everyone who comments without watching the video and saying, where is Kevin Garnett? I want you to troll him and troll them and say, DBG forgot, but he said B tier, a worse Tim Duncan. B tier, a worse Tim Duncan. That is the comment. Let's troll these guys that aren't watching the videos and complaining about a card that is just literally just forgotten. But Jeff Green, D. He's better than these guys at D. Giannis Antetokounmpo, S. And this Giannis especially. I don't know, the Mystic Giannis is kind of hovering. Like, I get it. Some people are still going to be brilliant with Mystic Giannis, but most people are not going to be anywhere near as good with Mystic Giannis with this Giannis all badged up. So, I'll put this Giannis in S tier, but I mean, he's probably a player with the potential to be the worst. Like, there are a lot of good players that are going to be really bad with this Giannis. So, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, then we are going to go Jerry Lucas. He sucks, man. He sucks D tier. He absolutely sucks. Josh Smith. High B tier. Low A. No, I like Josh Smith. I used him a little bit last season. His when D-Rob was out and he was good. Josh Smith going low A. Still really good at center. Still really, really good at center. Randall. D. Hate this card. I hate his Ruby as well. Juwan. D as well. Like, I'm decent with Juwan, but I know most people are going to suck with Juwan Howard. Kenyon Martin, E tier. Kenyon Martin's release is chicken. I just want to set their echo Shea with that Seshaw 7 with whatever upper he has is such a good release. I do not know why. Like, he's got like a 70 something 3-ball, and I've been greening consistently with him. I hope that because I remember last year they gave him base 75 when they gave him his pink diamond to Opal Evo. I hope that this year when they do give Kenyon Martin his card, that it's a little bit that he keeps that set shot 7. They don't give him another release. I like not every player having the same release, and I like not having 77 players at base 75 or 180 players at base 22. I like set shot 7. He's the only player to have it, and I hope he keeps set shot 7 because, again, anyone who's complaining about saying, oh, it's a set shot, please just shoot around with this Sapphire card. He's going to cost you like 750 MT. Just shoot around with him. He hits shots. Yeah, Kevin Durant now. He really sucks, D tier. Lamarr Odom, C. His stats are really good. I mean, his stats are really well rounded. He's still got Aldridge base, which is terrible base 11. Larry Legend, B. He's all right. Like, I like Larry Bird a lot more than most people like that Larry Bird because, again, I play. You know what? I say I play at a slow pace, but freaking clutch time. I've been playing unlimited, and I play at clutch time has made me start to play an unbelievably fast pace, which is kind of crazy. Because, like, I used to literally play the game at a snail's pace, and I reckon if I still played competitively, which I've just completely given up on it, I would slow it down because, again, the only time I've had success, like, I've done okay, I've done well. Like, I made like the last 4 of a 2K Legends term at the start of the year, but that was only because all of my opponents like to play super fast, and I was really good at taking them out of their rhythm. But now, like, because of clutch time and stuff, all I do is play fast. So maybe Larry would suck for me now. But Larry, his speed is slow, but like his lateral and stuff are good. He was really good when he came out. He's got a 45 dunk. Dunks more than you would expect. Still not a good dunker. But still, I'm not too high on him anymore. Larry Markkanen, I hate him. He's so ass. He's like, you know the way, he's like Marvin Bagley, but worse. And you guys don't understand my hatred for Marvin Bagley. He's in worthless tier. LeBron, get into E tier. LeBron sucks. And maybe E tier's, yeah, E tier. All these guys in D tier are better than LeBron. LeBron's animations this year are not that great. Like, they're okay on like his diamond and stuff because he has like 90 something speed and he can get away with it. Like, LeBron's animations are all slow. Like, when he has like super good speed on his cards, he's okay. Like, he's fine when he has the speed to make up for the fact that his like everything he does is slow. But like on this card here, he doesn't have like 92 speed and he feels so slow. I've used this card again in games because I can't remember, there was a count for a gameplay where he literally only had LeBron, Giannis, and I can't remember someone else's current card, but LeBron's ass. Miles Bridges, B. He's a good card though. He's like a worse version of Calvin Nat. Like, I've seen Splash balling with this guy. I've seen a lot of people ball with this guy. Like, you have to play him a small forward. But like, there's a lot of these guys we have to play him a small forward, but doesn't mean they're a bad card. Again, like Josh Smith, I wouldn't necessarily play him at I wouldn't play him at a center, but say not center. I wouldn't play him at power forward. I would play him at center, but I still think that he's a good, like, that's fine. They're still good. Like, even if they're not good at their specific position, like a Miles Bridges or a Calvin Nat, if they're really good small forward, they're still really good. And then we got Bjelica. Bjelica's D tier. Bjelica can really shoot. Like, there was a team when I was rating the clutch time teams, someone literally had Nemanja Bjelica in their squad. And he was literally like, oh yeah, he just doesn't miss me. It's like, he may not miss, but he's gonna be bad. Like, we just have to take that into account. He is still gonna suck. Let's say it like it is. Like, he is still pretty bad. Just because he can shoot does not mean he's good. Like, shooting is a very, very important thing, but only being able to shoot is not great. Siakam, D. Siakam was great for like a month. Like, we can't forget, Siakam is a day one card. I made a lot of MT on Siakam. I bought him for like 2,000 MT before the game officially came out. I sold him for like 15k like the day after the game came out. People started getting their MT. That's how I made all my MT. I bought like LaMelos. I had like on my nobody spend account, I had like LaMelo Ball, Siakam. I had like all of those guys from the Colossal set, all the rubies, before anyone got the game. And then when people started getting the game, they all spiked up in price. But Paul Silas, I mean, of these guys, Silas is better than Duncan. Of these guys, I would probably put Kevin Garnett in S and Paul Silas in A. But from the players you have right now, Paul Silas is going to go into S tier. I was low on him in my top 100. I think I put him like 30. No, I was low. Like, he's slightly better than Jonathan Isaac. He's not that much better than Isaac. Like, if you're asking me who, like, Jonathan Isaac, Nick Batum, Tim Duncan, and Paul Silas are all very similar level players. Like, it's preference between all those guys. So I wouldn't, if you think any of those guys should be in, then that's perfectly fine. For me, I would have Kevin Garnett in there. Instead, I would have Kevin Garnett, Dolph, Cliff Robinson, and AK. If I was making, if Kevin Garnett was here, but just to have 5 of them on the list, let's put, screw it. Silas is going to go down, so that the 5 is these 4 guys in AK, and Kevin Garnett. Duncan, this stage in the game, D for Duncan, D for tier. Rui Hachimura. Oh, there's no D in Rui Hachimura, but there is a D in tier, in his tier. There is no D in tier either. I should probably stop talking. Ibaka, at this stage of the game, Ibaka C. Ibaka was really good for his time, though. Ibaka really was good for his time. Like, one of the cards that we will remember, one of the best token rewards we've had in a while. Like, he's the best token reward we've had since cards start getting outdated every single day. Like, we can't, like, in 2K19, we had token rewards that were good, like, the whole year, but, like, in 2K19, we also had a day 1 AK that was good for the whole year. Like, things like that don't happen anymore. But, then we have got Tom Chambers, D, Zion Williamson, C or D. Zion sucks. I'm sorry. I get it. Like, there are a lot of Zion Williamson fans out there. He is a quite popular NBA player. He sucks in this game. Like, he absolutely sucks. Like Zion in this game plays the way you would expect. Like, you know those, like, photoshopped pictures of Zion? The obviously photoshopped ones. The ones that make him look like he's, like, 400 pounds. Like, the way you would expect a 400-pound Zion to play, that's how his Zion plays. He's slow, he's sluggish, he can't really shoot the ball, he's got a slow release. He's just overall terrible in 2K. So, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the tier list, so none of these guys are relevant. The top 2.5 tiers, or top 3 tiers are the only relevant ones. Let me know what you guys agree with, what you guys disagree with. So my top 5 are Kurolenko, Dolph Schayes, Kevin Garnett, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Cliff Robinson. Let me know which players you guys think I rated too highly. Let me know which players you guys think I rated too low. A player that I'm personally, like, for me, that I rated too highly was Anthony Davis. I think AD and Josh Smith, maybe. I think I'm going to move both of them down, to be honest. With AD, just to keep the tiers even, I'm going to move AD and Josh Smith down. I think, yeah, just to keep those A and B tier even. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that, because I know a lot of people are going to complain about the AD one, but I was never a fan of that card. And I know he was a love it or hate it card. And when he came out, he was a love it or hate it. Like, there was a lot of people that really did not like using him in this game. And I just think as time went on, there's just been way, way better cards. And then, like, if you think AD is better than Weber, that's fine. Then just move Weber down. But I think a lot of new guys like Aaron Gordon and John Collins are just better players in general. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.